It's Friday, October the 28th, and we are back from Wall Street.
From New York City. I keep hearing Frank Sinatra singing A Town That Never Sleeps.
We did. We tried anyway.
Yeah, but it was so much noise and trash trucks, it just keeps going and going. What a grand trip we've had this week, not only being with one another, but going to a place that we've said might be considered for us the epicenter of where our business
Absolutely. Our Mecca, so to speak.
got started.
Yeah.
The financial world of Wall Street.
It was. And to be able to be a part of the ceremony of the closing bell was a highlight also in our career. We'll never forget that, for sure.
I want to thank our friend Landon Harper and Federated for providing that opportunity. We met a lot of nice folks, and we sat around what was the biggest roundtable that we have ever sat around, but with a very small group of folks and professional money managers that talked about bonds and international and equities and Middle East and a scientist that came in that has an engineering background, and I'm sure it's a PhD.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In biotech. It was just a fascinating discussion and fascinating a full day. Started at 8:30 and we finished up ringing the bell at 4 o'clock. So it was a grand day that we had.
Takeaways. I would say I have a 3-word takeaway, and you can expound upon that. But higher for longer is the story that was told in New York.
Some consolation was given to us. We feel like we've been talking the same song, singing the same song all year long of that the recession is coming and it's slowing down. It's difficult to know what to do. But when you sit around a table with the actual bond fund managers, equity managers, folks that are meeting on Wall Street to plan what to do, and they say to you that this has been one of the most challenging years they have ever seen and experienced, and there's so many cross currents in where the market is going to go or not go that they have found this difficult.
And probably one of the main reasons is that unemployment continues to be at 3.5%. And those are just not numbers that you see when you're expecting a recession, and which the folks at Federated are, and that we have been espousing here in Q2 or Q3 of next year.
Everybody has said at the table that recession is coming. It is a function of soft or hard. It's a function of whether the Feds have to go higher in interest rate. It's a function of what happens when more treasuries hit the marketplace that need to be bought. It's a function of what happens in the Middle East. So many factors affecting it.
Yeah.
But 100% consensus that 2024 at some point in time will have some recession.
Yes, and yields never come down when unemployment is at 3.5%. Unemployment has to get to 4.5% to 5% before you'll start to see yields come down, whether that's on their own, which they've gone up on their own, of course, with the Fed help, but they will not come down until you see unemployment at 4.5% or 5%. And we're a long way from that, and that's a lot of lost jobs, unfortunately.
A lot of discussion also, especially from the bond folks. Now, you got to understand the bond folks are looking much further ahead in this, but they are saying to us, and we've heard this constantly through the second half of this year, we're really getting close to, you should begin to increase duration, because they believe with recession that there's a slowdown. With a slowdown, there's a reduced interest rates. With reducing interest rates, longer-term durations not only benefit you from a yield standpoint, but a capital appreciation.
Correct.
So we came away actually having them being Federated, their folks, or we're going to build some concept of barbells approach to this and then weigh the risk factor in it. But it was convincing enough for us.
Basically, we're going to build a mock portfolio and then track it.
See what happens.
Yeah.
And so we came away knowing that there is opportunity for capital appreciation next year in the bond fund world. So we're with that. I took away a very, very interesting conversation in the small cap world. And that is, if we get into a recession, a good place to buy into is in the small cap space, primarily because of the fact of it's been beaten up so much, it's very undervalued, and that's one of the quick leaders out of the recession area. That led to a fascinating conversation with the scientist that is covering biotech, and that was just fascinating.
Gene altering is one of the next frontiers that we'll be seeing in the next probably 3 to 5 years.
So we came away honored to be able to be part of the ringing of the bell. It was a highlight in our and HMC's career for Givin. Myself enjoyed being with one another, but we learned a lot, and we're going to figure out ways to pass that on to you. But we do it each and every week because we know the importance it is for us to stay in touch with what's going on, but more importantly, because it is your money.
And your money matters.
We'll see you.